Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Daily Rinse. It's definitely been a while. This is episode number 17. I am your host, Christopher Barth, and today we will be talking about flossing. I think I've covered flossing before in some of the earlier episodes, but I'd like to revisit that a little bit for today, mainly because it's important, secondly because I've got a product I'd like to review with you. The first part about flossing, obviously, is that it should be incorporated into your daily regimen for brushing. You can do it before or after, it really doesn't matter. My thought is that if you do it beforehand, it gets a lot of the debris and plaque out of there, allows the toothpaste to reach places it otherwise wouldn't if it was blocked by things in between your teeth. So that's just how I feel, but really there's no difference. And flossing is imperative to clean out in between the teeth and behind the back teeth. A lot of people think that you shouldn't have to floss your very back tooth, but you should. So it's important to get those back sides of those last teeth that are in your dental arch. So flossing can be done. They've got waxed floss, they've got unwaxed floss, they've got the ribbon floss that you see like Oral-B carries. It kind of looks like tape. And there's many different kinds of floss. There's an air flosser. There's flossers that are kind of handheld to help with the dexterity issues. And then of course there's also the flossers that a lot of folks like that are sort of shaped like a horseshoe, and there's a fixed piece of floss in between it, and it's connected to a sort of a pick. Those are good for if you're on the run or on the move and you have a whole bunch of them in the car and you don't have time, obviously, it's unsafe to floss with two hands while you're driving. So personally, I like to use the waxed floss. I've used the tape before, but for me, for my teeth, I feel that the thicker sort of floss gets in there better, removes plaque. Different people have different preferences. There's nothing wrong with doing that as long as you utilize floss. However, there's a new and upcoming company with a different philosophy. Their name is BOKA, B-O-K-A, and it's sort of going in line with a lot of the thought behind the oral health, systemic health connection, and how nowadays people are more in tune with their bodies and very in tune with how they should be monitoring what they put in their bodies, as far as food, as far as products to use on their skin and their hair, what you're drinking and things like that. And so BOKA strives, one of their philosophies is to strive to make a product that is similar to that, where it's natural, it's not offensive to the body, it really won't relate to any inflammatory process. It is just supposed to be an all-around good product that has come from nature and is there to accomplish the same job that toothbrushes and products have done beforehand, but only in a different way, in a healthier way. So I've got here today a BOKA Floss product. Okay, this is 30 yards of floss. It's mint flavored, and BOKA says that unlike other flosses on the market that are coated in either Teflon or something called PTFE, which stands for polytetrafluoroethylene, which is essentially like a Gore-Tex material. We actually use it in surgery a lot if you use a non-resorbable membrane. That's typically what they're made of. And so those things are potentially toxic, potentially causing inflammation, things like that. So the theory or thought behind the BOKA product is that this natural fiber floss coated in beeswax is natural, like I said before. It's helpful in many ways, and it's still thick. It's actually what I prefer. It's thick. It's not like the tape floss, and so it's more along the lines of, it has the feel or look to in my opinion, the waxed floss. And it's mint flavored. So we're going to go ahead and take a cut of this. So just for the disclaimer, I haven't brushed my teeth yet tonight, haven't flossed. I just ate white chicken chili, Whole30 approved, and there's definitely chicken in my teeth. So if you are squeamish to food particles coming out of the mouth or anything of that nature, don't look. But first impressions, feels a little bit different than other floss. It almost kind of has a feeling of like hemp. You know, it's nice. It's not slippery. I tend to shy away from slippery flosses anyways. So I'll just do my top arch here. I always start in the back and work my way around. And, you know, dexterity is sometimes an issue, but for me, at least for when I do my top, I take my index finger, my left, and my thumb on my right to get it back there. Now when you floss, here's another thing. When you floss, you should not be just click, 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 up and down, click, click, click. And it's better than nothing, but the object to do, you know, what you want to accomplish when you're flossing is to sort of polish the sides of the teeth, that pretend like it looks like, you know, you're forming the floss like a C shape, a sideways C, and you're polishing it instead of up and down, up and down, up and down. Now sometimes you do have to go up and down to get large food particles out of there, but just a tip for flossing. So I polish like that. Actually, I'll do only half of my upper arch. It's definitely getting some. Now, BOKA also says that when you use this and you put it up in between your teeth, that it expands a little bit. It's getting out plaque, it's removing food debris. It's working. I'm just testing the mint flavor. I can definitely smell the mint. It smells fresh. I can't taste it that much. I've had other flosses where I can taste the mint flavor more. I can smell it pretty well, but I can't taste it too much. But I do like the feel of it. I'll go over here. There's a piece. The other thing I have a couple spots that bleed. Oh, there you go. It came apart a little bit. So it's microfibers. You can maybe see them right here. Yeah, microfibers. So that makes sense that when it gets a little wet, it expands. And if y'all ever familiar with something called superfloss, this is what superfloss looks like. So that's kind of neat that it can emulate that. And so it can help folks with bridges, you know, where you're missing a tooth and there's a fake one, you have to get underneath it. This may be very helpful for that. But what was I saying? Yeah, it definitely does expand. That's interesting. Oh, right. I was saying I have a few spots that do bleed. And a lot of times I will, and this is just me, when I take the floss out, you know, I can kind of like catch a whiff of like almost dried blood and even taste it a little, and it's pretty unsettling. Can't smell it with this. Can still taste it obviously because it's still in my mouth, but at least I can't smell it. So that's a plus. So definitely better than I expected. To be honest, I've never used a natural product that has something in it like beeswax as far as oral health care. Beeswax coated. It's really, I mean, it's the texture's good. It's not, like I said, not slippery like the ribbon or tape kind type of floss. And then the other thing that's nice is that we know, or at least, you know, one of the literature articles we read by an author named Terazalmi shows us that there's really not a huge difference between different types of floss, so it's more of like a user preference. So there's not really a good or bad one, but if, like I said before, if you do believe that, or, you know, you are of the mindset that the Teflon or the PTFE or something that's like industrially produced, you know, and there's chemicals in it possibly, and other things that could be harmful to you, then this is a great product. This is a great product anyways, as for floss. So it can be found on BOKA.com. They have tons of other products on there. They've got toothbrushes, they've got toothpaste, they've got, I think, subscription services for dentists, monthly, quarterly type thing to get kind of oral health care kits, which is sort of a new and upcoming concept in the oral health care world. But anyways, to be continued, because I've got another product from them I'd like to review at the next episode, so stay tuned. It has to do with bad breath. And if there's any questions, please post below. You can also find me on Instagram at doc_gums. And we didn't have a little cameo appearance by my dog tonight. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Say hi. He's the mascot. There he is. He wants to play with this new toy. Surprisingly, he hasn't destroyed it yet. So again, BOKA Floss, available on their website, $5. Good product. I like the design here. Little grip, little lid, floss, typical floss setup that you see with the little cutter there. And again, very simple product. Seems like a good company. And it's definitely one of the ones that's kind of upcoming in this new age of natural healthcare products, especially in the oral healthcare field. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.